Robin.
We got Donald Trump Jr. joining the show. Friend of ours. What's up, Donald?
Hello, buddy.
Oh, jeez, it's one of those UGG shows. We couldn't have been more silly yesterday. We had just a dumb, silly, really good radio show with Dice and Florentine and the stripper that wouldn't get naked. Jimmy's birthday. Everyone had a good time. We went home. We're laughing. I was laughing all day yesterday because of how silly the show was. And then you wake up and it's an UGG show.
Yeah, it's a little more gloomy.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
You know, I think it's a shame that this stuff happens. You know what I mean? I don't know what the motivation is, but
it's usually a selfish guy that wants to be noticed, has an agenda, some manifesto.
Some lame agenda, you should say.
And the worst part is, in about 3 minutes, it's going to be political as opposed to emotional. You know, like this is going to be the poster for the next, at least conceivable 4 or 5 hours that these guys will go after each other on various things, trying to make it into something it's not,
Yep, that's exactly it, man. The media has a way of doing that.
Well, Piers is focusing on the gun issue. Already.
Listen, it's someone who wants to do this. To me, it's, and this sounds horrible 15 minutes after the fact.
Right.
It's not a gun. If someone wants to do something like this, they'll figure out a way to do this. There's no... you're dealing with a psychopath. You're not dealing with
a rational
someone
guy.
Well, I'm going to do this because I have a gun. Like, give me a break, guys. Like, that's crazy.
And then when they legislate more, they don't go, well, I'm crazy and I really want to shoot up this place, but it's illegal.
Right.
Well, that's the biggest problem. Is like, to me, gun control, the only thing that it controls is people who are actually willing to play by the law.
Right.
So, this guy is clearly not. So, by the way, if there were no guns in existence, he would figure out a way to do something like this, whether it's with a bomb or whether with gasoline or something.
Right.
I mean, and that's the real problem. All you're doing is preventing people who perhaps could defend themselves otherwise.
Yes, exactly.
From doing so. I mean, and that's, I strongly believe in that, as horrible as it is to say, even 15 minutes after the fact. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to say, because guns are going to be brought up a lot in the next few days. So what is the solution with the gun thing, you think? Tougher laws?
Well, listen, I mean, if you look back historically, any place where they've eliminated the guns, it usually leads to some sort of, genocide or disaster, whether it be, Russia during the Stalin years. If you look at, prior to, say, Nazi Germany, the Roundup, all of these, places in Armenia, every place in the world where they basically said eliminated guns, you're just preventing the people from defending themselves. And
America's not going to get rid of guns anytime soon, obviously.
That's also the issue. I mean, if you could say, fine, I'll eliminate every gun imaginable, perhaps it'd be different, but there'll always be a black market for guns. So
Pandora's box is opened.
All you're doing is preventing the people from, who will actually follow the laws from doing it, because you can never eliminate the black market. This guy's never thinking about, what are the laws? I mean, he knows he's either going, Colorado's a death penalty state. He's going to, I just hope they accelerate the process so we don't waste a lot of taxpayer money. This guy, he's a nice guy, but he's a little crazy. He's,
what about
they're going to put this guy on death row for 25 years.
Let's not forget about that Jared guy. They haven't accelerated anything with him.
They're saying this guy's name is James Holmes, born December 13th of 87. That's what the name
James
of
Holmes
guy's coming out as. I don't know if it's true, but
that's crazy white guy.
That does sound like a crazy. We're trying to figure out
white guy.
No middle name yet.
Not yet.
All of the psychos always have the middle name.
Do they give that to mass murderers, or is it only? This is a mass murderer. Whereas a serial killer only gets the three names. John Wayne Gacy, but Ted Bundy only had 2. But I don't know if mass murderers get them.
You know what I mean? Drugs obviously illegal. They're plenty available.
I was at the Roger Waters concert last week. I think I can attest to that.
Yeah. See,
a lot of pride in the air.
Yeah.
Drunk driving, very illegal. People do it. Take lives all the time. Legislating against bad things doesn't work against the people that are just going to continue to do them.
I agree.
It's not that easy, is what you're saying.
If you look at Switzerland, they actually issue guns to every family in Switzerland, and they teach them how to use them, and they have the lowest crime rate, as it relates to gun violence anywhere in the world. So,
but they're just weird over there. Let's be honest with each other.
Perhaps.
They're very strange.
You can point to examples, and I don't know that there's any any proof that says gun control actually does anything. Frankly, in most of the places where they get a little bit looser on the laws, allowing good citizens to have them, I mean, I know there's a lot of stats out there that's showing the crime rate goes down because, knowing there may be a gun in a home is certainly a deterrent. It was a deterrent to the Japanese when they discussed invading the United States during World War II.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. They're all armed. Every single house.
That was a legitimate thought by their military command.
Yep.
That's just horrible.
Yeah, it's depressing. It's fucking depressing. We're just watching the news coverage. How awful MSM. And it's not a political thing, because CNN's doing the right thing. CNN and Fox both covering it, and MSNBC. I don't know. Morning Joe and this fucking horrible nudge. He hosts this fun stopper that he hosts with.
Talking about Bain Capital, and it's like maybe that could wait the day.
Really?
While you have an unfolding story here.
Well, yeah, I mean that's 100%, and yet those are real stories, because you got the president attacking small businesses. I mean, yesterday's quotes like, well, you didn't make it on your own. It's like, really? Like, I don't know, man. I deal with a lot of small businesses. I deal with a lot of guys that are, own construction companies. They have their life guaranteed. Their house is on the line. Like, to me, that's different than someone that shows up 9 to 5, punches the clock, does some work, gets a paycheck.
Right.
Like, those guys, and there's definitely really valuable employees. I've seen that too. But for the president to basically say, well, you didn't do it on your own. It's like, I don't know, man. Those guys took some serious risks for the most part in small business. And so, I mean, to me, that's still a big issue. 15 minutes after an incident like this, maybe you don't talk about it, but it's important, because it either means that the president is totally clueless.
Yeah, well.
Or he's just pandering to a political side, because there's more people that would love to believe that they're indispensable who show up 9 to 5 and punch a ticket than people who are small business owners. Either way, it's bullshit.
When he started going off about that, and the logic behind it was, hey, look, you used the roads to drive your materials. Who was that woman? What's her name? She had the same take on this as Obama did. Or
I know who you're talking about.
It slips my mind right about now.
I try to block people like that out of my memory if I possibly can.
But it was it's like they trying to make it sound like, look, the government was there to help you with the business, but it's like, no, the businesses are there to keep your job.
Yeah.
You're there to serve the people.
Yeah. The government's not the thing making all of these things happen. And I mean, that's what they're trying to make. I mean, trying to sell that story just goes to show how out of their minds these people are.
Out of touch and anti-capitalist and capitalism.
We just might have his Facebook page, so Sam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, here.
Can you throw it first so he doesn't...
Sorry.
Yes.
Well, guys, this interview's going to suck. You guys are never having me back.
I know, right? What the fuck?
No, stop. It's just a weird day.
It's like very weird. It's hard to not acknowledge it, because it's like it's unfolding. They just keep coming out with like shots of his apartment.
We want to talk about those horrible bunkers in Scotland.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with the golf in Scotland, and you guys just opened up a course there. Yeah, I saw you tweeting about it.
It came out awesome, man. I mean, Sandy Jones, the head of the PGA, was there. He saw it, and he basically at the press conference. And I mean, this is a political thing for him in that world. If you're the head of the PGA, when he says, it's a top 3 course, the problem is I can't name number 2 and 3. And this is a guy who makes his living traveling the world to see golf courses for tournaments and these sort of things. So
who designs your courses?
Everywhere's different. Over there, it's a links style course. So Martin Hawtrey, he's the guy that does it for all the links courses over there for the Royal and Ancient.
So you got the main guy, is what I'm saying.
His grandfather built most of the open venues 100 years ago. I mean, it really is a special place. I mean, the land is just so good. I mean, I could have designed an incredible course there, because the land is just, so amazing. So Colin Montgomery was out there opening it up.
Oh, really?
I played in the second foursome with Martin Laird, who's, top 30 golfer right now. And needless to say, that was a humbling experience.
Oh, yeah, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm pretty long off the tee. I'm a horrible golfer, but I have some,
got a good
distance.
drive,
and this guy's blowing it past me at like 60 yards, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's ridiculous.
How is it to play there? Like, I hear it's, the wind and...
It's a very different game. It's not like golf like you play here it's almost like a separate sport, but you use the same equipment, because, there, a lot of the game is about rolling the ball. You keep it low because the wind really affects it. So it's not like, well, I'm going to shoot it there and the ball's just going to rest. The greens are designed to be fast. I mean, you may be putting from 60 yards out kind of thing. It's a different game. You got the dunes on the side. If you go in there, you're dead.
Yeah, they go with the giant greens over there. I mean, giant.
Yeah, it's a totally different sport. The wind, they play in the rain, they play in the snow, they don't care. It's a different...
And those bunkers, man, with that just wall.
Yeah, they're revetted bunkers. They basically take turf and stack it upside down on top of each other, so it makes almost like a sod wall.
Yeah.
And that's vertical. It's a lot harder to get out of.
Yeah, you got to pop it over that thing or go backwards.
Yeah.
Damn. Is that him, Sam, or no?
That can't be him, because they said it. They
said
it's a white guy that did it.
They did say it's a white guy? Well, this guy's going to get a lot of
where is he from?
Attention on his Facebook page.
He lives in Aurora?
Then maybe because I also heard someone witness had said They thought he was an Indian guy.
Oh, man.
So they could have mistaken a light-skinned black guy for an Indian guy, or maybe the news is just right and the name is a different guy.
Well, the news is often not right. So
that's true, too. When they said white
but they'll never let that get in the way of a good story, you know?
Nope. That's true.
Let's hit this for a second.
Else kept at a distance, according to reporters there. It has not been confirmed that this is the shooter's apartment complex, but between this location and
what else could
we're reading it anyway.
Either that, yeah.
Vehicle that we believe
There's a bomb squad outside the window. Why else would they be in Aurora, dummy?
Because this is exactly what law enforcement
Sometimes you can just go with this.
about all morning.
We haven't confirmed this yet.
Investigation on this particular building, and obviously continuing to
breaking the window.
So he's breaking the window.
Like
if I were him, I would be off to the side instead of in front of the window. Like, there is a bomb.
Authorities, they have not elaborated on what those items.
They're probably figuring it's hooked. They're probably figuring it's hooked up to the door, not the fucking window.
We're going to come back in just a moment. Continue to cover this story.
I don't know. I gamble my life on that.
Yeah, I would.
12 people dead, 38 others.
I would go through the roof.
Very, very seriously.
Cut a hole.
No, this guy
Before they were reporting 14 dead, then I heard 15. Now they're saying 12.
Yeah, well, that number's going to change, obviously.
But this guy told them there's a bomb in the car. He told them there's a bomb in his house, whatever. Why does he want this information out there? Like,
yeah, if you're trying to kill people, you want the element of surprise.
Unless he wants them to find what
you're looking
he
at
has.
images from overnight.
Probably got, like I said, he'll have some kind of manifesto.
Theater. They were showing at midnight.
It's going to be one of these guys.
Little nobody who needs to be heard.
Yeah, he didn't want to, draw his gun when all the cops are out there and die in a blaze of glory because he knows he's going to be. We don't know who he is right now, but boy, he is going to be the most popular guy. In a few hours. Everyone's going to know his name. Everyone's going to see his picture. You're not going to be able to get away from this guy's picture. He will be the most known person in this country in a few hours.
Is that him,
question.
Sam?
Yeah.
No, you're just
you're just searching every James Holmes. Unfortunately, I think there's probably...
That's a pretty common name.
Yeah.
In Colorado.
Jimmy Holmes.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I think...
That black guy's the only one in Aurora.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, but they said he may have had... Check Tennessee, because they said that his car may have had Tennessee plates. Is something I remember seeing, so...
Yeah.
And
so maybe he just recently moved there and still didn't...
Did you look at the content of that site to see what that guy wrote about?
Yeah, a little. I mean, he's a personal trainer. He doesn't have anything about superheroes.
Nothing about craziness?
No, he likes beer.
All right.
He's a whack job.
Likes beer. That's crazy.
I don't think it's a guy that likes beer. I think
works out and likes
I will
beer.
get healthier. I will look better. I will eat right.
Oh, this guy sounds like a nut.
Oh, boy.
Why would you ever do that?
What else?
He's got pictures of kids and stuff on there. I don't think that's the guy.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
A relative.
It's not his relative.
But if he lives in Aurora, he's going to get shit for a long time.
Of course.
Oh, man. He's like, God damn.
I want to go through the process of changing your name.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wait,
Jimmy.
they're saying now it's reported that he crashed his car into the fire door.
Stop.
And then tossed the tear gas in and came in shooting. But his car looked to be parked.
Yeah, his car wasn't
right
there.
Yeah, no,
it was in the spot.
I mean, they were going through it, with like one of those bomb robots and stuff like that.
It was in the spot, right? Yeah.
Well, you're going to get all sorts of crazy reports until they figure it out.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to get an accurate assessment.
Right.
No manifestos on that page?
Nothing,
no,
Samuel?
He's got a really nice watch.
Oh. Hey, give him a watch. Do you looking to pawn that or sell it?
What was that James Cameron? Because someone's saying James Cameron was in an adjacent theater. Was that the director who just lives out there or no? Okay.
I would doubt
I think he'd get a screener.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, maybe he wanted to go.
I would think he would have seen it before this.
Yeah. Right.
Some people like to go to the theater. Like maybe he wanted to go see it in the theater with people.
He doesn't seem like
I don't think people are going to the theater for a while.
Yeah. That's another thing.
This is going to fuck up the numbers.
Oh, yeah.
People are going to be scared to go tonight.
And I heard it was good, but,
It was good. Doesn't really matter. It's
I ain't bringing my kids.
No.
Well, I mean, that was the strange thing, by the way. It was like a midnight showing, and I'm hearing about, like, 3-month-olds getting shot. Like, who brings a 3-month-old to a midnight showing
Selfish
of like an R
parents.
movie? Like,
someone that couldn't find a babysitter.
He's going to have the baby crying during the movie.
I don't know,
the kid will sleep
it's just
through it.
rude because of exactly what you just said, Ant. Like, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something I would do.
Yeah.
But, hey.
I don't either. Well, we'll have more info. Don't worry. We're your news station right here.
Sure. They broken the window.
Through the
Breaking
window
news.
of the apartment building. What happened? You were woken up and they said what?
Well, actually, it started going on around 1 a.m. this morning. I heard a lot of commotion outside, So me and my sister, we went outside to see what was going on, and next thing you know, we seen all kinds of police running us with the vests on, and they had guns like drawn and running towards the apartment building. And at first I thought it was the apartment building I was in, so I was like, hey, should we be concerned? They're like, no, it's fine, just go back inside. Then I seen the SWAT pull up, the bomb squad, and there were canines, and I was like, what's wrong? Like, do I need to be worried? And they're just like, no, go inside.
Tennessee?
Yeah, this guy's a little bit. This guy's a little different. He's got the shaved head. It seemed like there were a lot of minorities being interviewed.
A lot of tattoos.
On the news today. So
yeah,
that guy looks a lot more like a James Holmes. I think we may be onto something with the Tennessee thing.
Man, this guy looks a little.
Yeah, the full chest skull tattoo.
Yeah.
Not that we want to stereotype.
Death before dishonor. He's got tattooed on him. On himself.
And it's actually written backwards. Well, maybe that's because he's taking a picture.
I think it's in the mirror there.
So you can see it when he's running behind your car trying to kill you.
His about page says, all my experiences have been real. Everything that I've been through has endured has been real, and I've been real to a lot of fake-ass people. But through all that, I figured out some real-ass mottos to share. Okay, and he's got his dumb... I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know?
The guy's either really stupid or the killer. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
And he,
or both.
He's got pictures kissing his chick, and this might just be a regular dude.
He looks a little crazy.
Because chances are, whoever did this just got dumped.
Well, that looks like a mugshot, doesn't it?
Yeah, really.
Huh? That looks like a mugshot. He's wearing like an orange jumpsuit.
And he puts on his Facebook
and you put
page?
that on your Facebook.
He's proud of his mugshots. That's
might be.
I don't know, guys. We may be onto something.
He has a good profile. That's probably why.
I'm willing to just jump to
it'd be huge if you guys were the guys that discovered who the identity of this guy first. You know?
Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know what the hell
is that like his
going
naked wife lying on the couch with his kid?
No, that's another kid.
Oh.
I thought that for
Oh, yeah.
It looked like
some boob action there.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, but that looks like it's a little girl with no shirt on.
It's a boy.
It is.
Yeah. Wow, that's fucked up. I don't know. I'm willing to say yes. I'm just gonna.
I'm all in. Fry him.
I don't need. Yeah, get that guy.
The apartment across is we evacuated them, and we believe that there is some kind of bomb-making materials located inside of that apartment, so we may evacuate the whole area.
So they were very clear with you. Describe for me, I'm looking at a very tight shot of this apartment complex. It looks sort of medium-sized. Can you describe for me what the neighborhood's like and what this apartment complex, the one that's now surrounded by SWAT, is like?
Well, usually it's a pretty, calm area. It's like there's a school on the same block as the apartment that you're looking at. It's a really cool, calm, collected area, but lately there's been a lot of police activity, and I don't know, maybe it's because a lot of things have been happening in Aurora, like shootings and stuff, but there's a lot of police activity lately, and I just thought it was another one of them days, one of them nights that the police were here again. So, but it's usually before the summer started, it was like a cool area, like you weren't afraid to be outside.
And is it an area frequented by young people? How would you describe the neighborhood to somebody?
It's majority families, because it's right in the school. There's a school right in the area.
Our continuing
so
coverage
working families
of the Aurora shooting
and a lot of young children live around here.
So where's everybody been moved to? I mean, where are you right now? Because obviously you got to move a distance back from that building, which is right near your building, and of course all the people in that building. And we're looking at live pictures of what we believe is the suspects.
They're by the window
apartment building
in a cherry picker from the fire truck.
The fire department using a crane
boy,
trying to
not
gain
want to go in that window immediately.
Where's everybody been put?
They got them little cameras on a stick there.
Evacuated two blocks, the whole perimeter, and they just have us we're probably about 5 blocks away from the scene, and they really didn't tell us too much. They just told us that we could be taken to a gym.
Oh boy!
If we needed somewhere to go, but besides that,
why did he tell the cops?
Told us, go down the
Unless
corner.
he was just listing stuff that's at his house.
Rebecca Bradshaw updating us on what's happening in her neighborhood. This is North Aurora, and she describes it as a family, a neighborhood full of families. It's now the focus of a SWAT team, and you can see the fire truck. They're trying to gain access to that apartment building through the window. They've been doing this now for the last hour plus that we've been watching it. Rebecca says that she heard booming sound that she would describe as some kind of explosion from this apartment building. She said the police showed up with their guns drawn, sent everybody back inside to her complex, which is across the street. She says SWAT team, bomb squad, canine unit as well. And she said eventually, in the last couple of hours, they were evacuated, being told by the police doing the evacuation that we believe that there is bomb-making material inside that particular apartment building. This is consistent with what the police chief told us early this morning in the very early hours after this
James
terrible shooting
Holmes.
At this movie theater.
That
in fact that they were searching the apartment
somebody's twittering
of the shooter.
That Elvis Duran said the movie should be pulled ASAP.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why would
I got that too.
Why would he say that?
Is he really that much of a dope?
That's pretty sad. Yeah, suspect identified as James Holmes. Police have a 24-year-old man in custody.
Yeah.
24-year-old James.
How old's the guy on the Facebook page, Sam?
He didn't have his age.
I don't know. That guy didn't look that old, but he may have looked older than 24.
That guy looks.
That guy doesn't look
no.
Too good looking to kill people.
Yeah, he's a great body.
I don't know what you're talking about, buddy.
Yeah. Do you have to?
His words, not mine.
Yeah. What's going on there, sir?
Just a handsome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see Fred Willard on the.
on
Fox Business.
He thought he skated today.
Yeah, he was like, he's the only person in America that was happy about this thing, because we would have had a lot of fun with that one today.
Oh, man. Yes.
The old hole in the bottom of the popcorn trick, you know?
Yeah, he was in a porno theater. Fred Willard, you know him from all those great Christopher Guest movies. Yeah. He was in a porno theater, and they apparently caught him spanking it. He was jacking in the theater. But it's like it's a porno theater. Leave the guy alone.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going there in the first place, like, I don't know, like, you going there for the content? Like,
yeah, the odds are you might pull out your dick.
I want to see the plot.
Right. Who's going to be offended, by the way? If you're I don't think anyone in the theater even cared that he was jacking off.
A seedy adult theater? Really?
Yeah.
Gives a fuck.
How embarrassing.
Honestly, given all of the content, not that I know about any of this stuff, for the record, but, given all the content that's out there for, like, how is the porn industry a multi-billion-dollar industry? Like, isn't there enough that you can get for free that you
for free like, in the privacy of your own home?
Yeah,
why are you going to a movie?
They're losing money.
Pop-up ads. The only thing making the money.
Yeah, they're losing a lot of money now.
Yeah. X-Hamster's a great site.
But for a long time, sure, they made a shitload.
Phenomenal.
I guess he just didn't know how to use a computer.
Maybe that's what it is. He's sort of that generation that
have no evidence
didn't realize there's a pretty big cache of free stuff out there.
In any way.
Or terrorism.
Terrorism. But under the law, under federal law, there may be a charge of terrorism that could be lodged against Mr. Holmes if, in fact, he's formally accused. And there are certain statutes in the state of Colorado that may speak to this kind of conduct. So not the type of Al-Qaeda terrorism, but
homegrown terrorism.
Now you're going to get all of this one.
Homegrown terrorism.
I say, if he's guilty of it, try him, let him appeal, do it in about 3 weeks, and fry the fucker.
And then just done with him.
What is our society coming to where you can't even go see a movie that has
Jared Lofko is Arizona.
You can't go see a movie.
And then,
you can see a movie. This is very rare.
This never happens.
It never happens. What is society when you can't go see a movie? I think if you go to the movies right now, you'll probably be fine.
How many movies were shown last night? Where people were fine. How many theaters were open for business?
It's like the gun owner. There were 65 million gun owners who didn't kill anyone yesterday.
Didn't kill anyone. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're never going to be perfect.
No.
They got the windows out, and they're still just taking a peek in there.
Yeah.
Would you crawl through that window, Ed?
No. No, I saw that. You ever see Speed? Oh, my God. They go into his house. He looks. And kablamo.
That's where I do want to be management,
Yeah.
I think you should go in now. Maybe look a little bit to the left there. Just report on the radio how you're doing.
There. Tell me what's in there. Go ahead.
That's a really small apartment complex. They got an aerial view now. It doesn't look like many apartments at all.
Yeah, it's one cracker box kind of building.
Not complex at all.
Probably maybe 12 apartments total, I would guess.
Yeah, maybe.
What a shitty little
3
building.
floors. That is a shit. Oh, there's another building next to it.
I'm not quite sure what they're doing, if they're trying to gain access through the window, or if they're just continuing to work from the window.
Yeah.
Did you hear her? She goes, well, we're not really sure quite what they're doing, if they're trying to gain access. Of course they're gaining access. They want to get inside, but they're being very cautious.
They're checking the drapes against the carpet to see if the colors match.
I don't like his color palette.
Maybe MSNBC's right. Maybe they know they would just have rambling idiots on like this.
By the way, there is some truth to what you did. I mean, because in 3 hours, they will know nothing more.
Right.
And it will still be, not that it won't be a news story, but they'll tell you the same thing 1,000 times. Like, there's nothing worse than that in the news cycle, because I'll listen to it sometimes in the background when I'm at the office. It's like, how many times can I hear the story of what someone said in it? It's a 20-minute loop. It's basically a...
But you can't help yourself.
Over and over.
You sit in front of that TV with these big events, and you just take it all in.
Yeah.
You can't help yourself. But you're right. Not much changes.
Poking around with a very long stick. I like it. It's 2012, and people still poke things with sticks. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's how far we've come.
That's how far we come. What should you do? I don't know. Poke it with a stick. See what it does. Damn it.
Pulling his screen out.
All right, they're getting close to...
They're looking in the bathroom, I guess.
I hope you're
or the kitchen?
okay.
That looks like a kitchen window.
William,
the bathroom's a little square one.
Mark Stewart is a reporter from KMGH, and he's joining us now with
How
an
scary
update
would it be?
His bedroom.
How scary would it be to get in that apartment and slowly make your way around it?
You're covering and what you're seeing.
Quiet apartment are fucking crazy, man. They really are.
Here we go. In suburban Denver that was being searched. There's also an extensive search still taking place here on the crime scene in this movie theater parking lot. As you
Items
can see
of interest
me,
inside.
all of the cars
it's like
are
a nice
still
sculpture.
Here,
That's interesting.
What detectives
very interested
are doing
in that.
now, and it's not just detectives from Denver, but from really across the whole state. We've also learned the FBI is here. They're going through this entire parking lot, looking at each of the cars. Perhaps there is something there, something left behind that can explain what happened. We have been talking to the local police here all morning long, and one thing that they have wanted to stress to us is that things have been changing. And at this point, they are telling us that at least 12 people are dead. 2 of the people passed away in the hospital. The other 10 passed away here at the movie theater, and at least 50 people injured. A lot of people here have been concerned because...
Nothing new there.
I wonder if this guy was a fired movie theater employee, or he just some weird shit just happened. It's always right after something unless they're completely nuts.
Like the postal guy. And
it's something in his life. He got dumped.
Unless they're like just manic depressive, crazy,
fired or something. Maybe
his wife left him.
Something lame like that, and he's got to fucking be an asshole.
Yeah, and get a little attention for himself.
People watching.
Well, that one again. If I don't think I saw someone who wasn't like a minority, being interviewed, and if they're saying it's a 24-year-old white guy, that's and that'll be the next part of the story, because that's different than a disgruntled employee. Because that brings up the whole racism argument.
Racism. Well, we'll see. Like I said, in no time, we're going to know exactly who this guy is.
Check the police scanner. They're saying it's saying that the boyfriend of one of the victims is on his way to kill shooter's family members.
What?
Again, that could be total nonsense. I'm getting it off Twitter. But,
that's where I go for my news.
My news.
You'd be surprised how much comes out, though.
Honestly, I see about a lot of stuff there first.
Yeah.
It's not always the most accurate, but the first time you hear,
I trust Twitter before half this other
all
shit.
That stuff
let's go to the police scanner.
Okay, suspects north side of the hospital, registered, regular T10 bill, male, white, and all cars free to respond to Aurora shopping code out on scene. He'll be in for 322.
Suspect of what?
Copy, thank you.
Is that Aurora, Colorado, or is that police?
No, this is
Aurora, Colorado.
How'd you pull that up?
They got some great apps on this thing. Yeah, police scanner app. It just I usually listen to the Chicago one at night. Wow.
Just for fun?
It's insane. It's like an action movie. It's crazy. Helicopters, friggin' car chases, gunfire. Chicago's a crazy place. And by the way, we'll be there. August 10th.
CBS is reporting suspect's apartment is booby-trapped, and police can see what looks like buckets of ammunition.
Safe rest.
Shut down probably the routine around now. You're at the stage at 17th in Oswego. Code 4 with the party out front of the main entrance. Okay, dispatch copies. Code 4 at South Party at the front entrance.
A party?
Metro 14, you've got a whole bunch of people coming towards you. Do you need any more bodies? Engine we're in contact.
A whole bunch of people coming at you? What is this, like a mob?
Happening? Yeah.
Let's find out here.
A lynch mob.
By the way, that's much more interesting than the same old thing they're telling us on the news.
I know, right?
Come up and I'll either face-to-face, I'm over here at Parrot or your traffic. And 17th, and give you an update of what's going on here. 10-1, okay.
Whoa. I don't know what's happening.
That's
Jesus Christ. Tell me.
626 will be code 8.
Yeah. Go ahead.
626, thanks.
Go ahead, 626.
Roger. What's your vector, Victor? Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
I like movies about gladiators.
Correction, dispatch to unit Union 30.
I'm looking for Detective Day. Where is he?
He's down here out front talking to the party. What do you need?
Party? Still signed up for that.
Here, Gateway High School. Yeah,
Anything else?
Again, any units that didn't copy, if you were en route to south initially, it's code 4 there. You can go back to your original assignments.
Oh, okay. Nothing big.
Yeah.
Nothing big going on. Yeah, these apps are fucking fantastic. Just listen to horrid shit all night long. Death and mayhem.
Yeah.
I downloaded a few of these, and whenever anything happens around the country, you could just pop it up and listen. It's better than just listening to the news, you know? The news just has...
Well, that's where they grab their info.
They probably do, but they can't confirm it.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
my point is that they get the info from there, but they're way behind because then they eventually get it to air.
Yeah, because they got to confirm it. I'd much rather have the alleged info and assume it's right.
Yeah. The alleged info.
I can always adjust my thoughts later.
Right, I can always apologize if I'm wrong.
And if it's wrong, who cares? We're not a news show.
Yeah, exactly.
Dick joke fest.
Yeah. Did you read Jessica Redfield's Twitter earlier? Was that the one?
Yes.
Yeah, just one of the victims. She was a reporter. She's now dead.
Wow. Well, she was. Oh, that was accurate.
Her last 4 tweets. Of course, we're seeing Dark Knight. Redheaded Texan Spitfire. People should never argue with me. Maybe I should get in on those NHL talks. And then someone goes, Jessica, you aren't seeing it tonight? And then she writes, loser. And then she writes, movie doesn't start for 20 minutes.
Yep, that's the last.
And they're confirming she's one of the ones killed?
I believe so, yeah.
I read that earlier.
Yes. Looks like she might be a fan of ours, too, because she follows us.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Do most of your fans follow because they like you or because they despise you? Do you have do you have an element of both? Like,
of course we do.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure, based on some of the commentary I get, it's like I have more people that follow me that hate just because they want to respond, like that, you know. And then I just have fun when they make like grammatical errors or they like can't complete a coherent sentence. You know, it's just
you get people that are obsessed with their hate for you.
Oh, it's great. By the way, I think it's so amusing. Like when I have time to kill with all my travel schedule, like at an airport and stuff like that, it's just so fun to like they think it actually affects me, which is
right. Yep,
sort of amazing. So it's funny.
They do though. We get a few people like that. They usually have no followers.
Tom Berman is following what some of the state.
Well, they have no followers because they just keep making new accounts.
Yeah.
And they think we don't know.
I just block them now.
It's just so stupid.
I don't even really comment that much anymore. I just fucking block them. Gone.
Yeah, well, I like to respond and then block. That way you get the last word.
I do that, yeah.
Federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies continue to respond to this.
Because there's nothing new for now.
By tonight there'll be a lot of information about this SWAT.
I just want to see what they're doing with his apartment right now.
Nothing.
They keep going back to that.
Yeah. They're,
you do realize how fucking out of touch the newspaper is, though? Like, of course, there's nothing in the morning's papers. There couldn't be, but it's like you don't even look at it.
It makes you wonder. I wake up every morning. I read the Post before I go to the gym. It's like I don't know why I do that.
Habit.
By the time,
because that's what we
everything
knew.
that's in there, I basically know already.
It's
like, why am I reading
they're
history?
They're close to 24 hours behind now. The paper, the first chance they get at this will be tomorrow morning. How weird is that?
And by the way, who reads
the
Saturday paper isn't exactly.
That's true, and
that'll be their first chance. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, people could go to their website website, sure.
But it's done. It's like that. It's archaic. It's paper. Stop.
Well, I don't read the paper that way. I only do it digitally now. I mean, I know some people who love the kind of the feel of a newspaper. For me, I like all my newspapers on my iPad. I can access this. I don't have to fold it out, especially traveling. Like, you're sitting there like this with your arm extended into someone else's seat, like trying to read it's disaster.
You have to know how to fold the pages over thing.
There's an art to it, and then you have to redo it every time. The good fold, you have to unfold completely to get to the next page.
Turn the page, new fold.
Have you been? They might have asked you last time. Have you been on your dad's plane?
Oh yeah.
Did you guys talk about that last time?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Go.
No, I'm just curious as how fucking amazing it is.
It's pretty sweet. It's because when I travel commercial. 99% of the time I go coach because I travel with teams of guys not everyone's going business class and I can't lead a team if I'm sitting in business class and they're all sitting in coach. I just feel like a jackass. So it's just so much more painful doing that kind of travel given that I travel virtually every week after having been on the plane with my dad. Because there you walk around, there's bedrooms, there's movie theaters.
Oh man,
how big is his plane?
It's a 757. So
he got a 757.
He's got a 757. So, it's a big plane. It's sweet.
Wow.
It's cool to be able to, take my kid or something like my little boy, take him up into the cockpit. I'm a pilot myself, so I get it. But a 3-year-old kid, he's sitting in there watching you come in at night, landing a plane. It's pretty sweet. It's a cool experience.
I'd love to sit in a plane during takeoff and look out the front window. That's gotta be fucking cool, right?
I don't know what the FAA statutes are because I'm not quite. I'm a licensed pilot. I'm not sure if I'm rated for that, so I'm going to go off the record on that and say.
All right. I would assume. Well, let me just assume it's probably fun to be able to get behind the controls.
I would imagine it's fun to fly VFR at 36,000 feet. It's
what's VFR?
Visual flight rules. Just sort of using the horizon as opposed to instruments and.
Do they do that? Why would they do that at that height?
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like flying the old iron compass.
But I've been lucky with my father's pilots and stuff back when he had his other plane, 727. Before that, I used to go with them when they do their training and go into sims.
Yeah.
And practice landing all these big planes in a simulator, and it was always sort of amazing. Just even having 90% of my experience in a Cessna and these kind of smaller planes. It's all kind of the same, other than the numbers that you got to follow. So it's pretty cool.
Why don't we go to Steve the Therapist? He calls our show from time to time. He has a profile on this guy. Okay. Let's just see. Let's see what he says.
This could be interesting.
Hey, how's my profile? Well, he does this for a living. Steve, what do you got, buddy?
Good morning, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Jimmy. What are you thinking? It's the story's only a few hours old, but what do you got?
The type of person that does something like this is probably got a diagnosis of either antisocial personality disorder, which basically means you're born and you're raised without a conscience whatsoever. You have no capacity to feel guilt. Or somebody who was a high-level paranoid schizophrenic, because, as Anthony has probably said, the tactical planning behind this was very sophisticated. You're probably looking at somebody who's either bounced out of the military on a Section 8 or for a dishonorable discharge, or somebody who never made it in.
So it's Klinger.
Right.
Yes. Okay, remember?
The Klinger killer.
Klinger killer, yes, in a dress.
You're also probably looking, if not the military, somebody who had aspirations of being in law enforcement and couldn't cut it.
Wow.
What about a guy that might have worked at that movie theater?
You know what? We all have revenge fantasies about people who haven't treated us good, ex-girlfriends, former employers.
Yeah.
That kind of response is way over the top. I would tend to doubt it.
He was assistant to the assistant manager at the movie theater.
But I made the point earlier how it was probably a guy who didn't get into the military or the police department.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. And I said that
Why are you laughing through
it? No, I made all these. I didn't do it on air, but I just did it to my friend in the hallway.
I did it to myself.
Yeah, it was all by myself. I did that.
Jimmy, you're a smart guy. I'm not surprised.
Thank you.
Oh, it's very sweet.
Anything else, Steve?
That's it, guys. I'm punching out.
All right, Steve the Therapist calls from time to time. That's his thoughts on it.
When you guys said Steve the Therapist, I wasn't sure if this was like an O&A fan type therapist.
Right.
Give me some sort of. That was actually a pretty.
Well, we also have another therapist with big, huge boobs and stuff.
That's good. He said the guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Well, by the way, I don't want someone with credibility to go on the record saying this guy's crazy, because that's what's going to prevent this guy from actually getting the punishment this fucker
true.
deserves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually said that out of my tweet earlier. Like, this crazy bastard. I was like, man, I shouldn't have used that word, because he's not crazy. He's disturbed, but he's not crazy, because he's got to get the chair.
Let him stand trial, death penalty over there in Colorado. And boy, if any case should get the death penalty, it's something like this.
Yeah, and they'll still drag it out for months, and they'll bring up something that happened in his child. You know, the bottom line is this guy's not a human.
And they got him, they got him red-handed.
We got a witness.
Stared back, and no one knew how to react.
Everything was going good until we saw gas and sparks, and it sounded like really strong fireworks. And then you just hear people yelling, and actually just a few rows away from me, a girl gets up holding her jaw, and I guess she had got shot.
Overall, I give the movie 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, that was exciting. Wow. Oh man, I have seen a lot of minorities being.
I've seen a lot of black witnesses. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And so when that's all I saw this morning. And so when I heard 24-year-old white guy, I go, oh boy.
I didn't. That's funny. I did not even notice that until you said that. You're right, though.
I'm starting to see a lot of black witnesses.
I don't see color.
Because we've been trained to not be able to think like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No. Whenever they're interviewing witnesses and stuff, you just trying to get the. And plus, it was a lot of voice stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't even see them.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, even for me, like, before I said that, I'm like, am I allowed to say that? Like,
you second guess yourself every time
like,
it races.
if you're talking to me, you don't come here for PC, but like I still you're so trained to think that way. Like, oh, you can't say something like that. But the bottom line is that could be one of the motivations.
You don't understand us. We only see race.
Yes, we're terrible people.
So this Jessica Redfield, who supposedly died in this attack, or whatever, and she's a reporter. She wrote a blog about just missed being in a shooting in Toronto last month.
Whoa.
Narrowly escaped Toronto mall shooting in June and wrote about it.
Jesus.
Yeah. And supposedly she was a victim of this thing.
That's one of those things you walk away from one of them and you're like, that's never going to happen to me again.
What are the odds?
The fuck?
Yeah. What are the odds?
Why don't we take a break? What are you promoting there, Donald Trump Jr.?
Ooh. I'm not promoting anything. I just
hanging out.
Just say, hey, you want to come in? I said, sure. What the hell?
Just a friend.
All right, we got Bob. How do you say his last name? Odenkirk from Breaking Bad coming in a little bit.
Oh, great show.
Yeah.
I got to plug our Chicago thing.
Of course we do. Yes.
Opie and Anthony live in Chicago, Friday, August 10th. It's our first appearance as a radio show in this great city, and 115 Bourbon Street is the name of the place. And we're going to start a little earlier, I think, say 3 to 6 or whatever it is, Chicago time. Details are on our Facebook page and SiriusXM.com. And the oddest thing you own, bring stuff down. There's going to be a cash prize for the weirdest shit that is yours. Chip off the old block. There's going to be a horrible chip impersonation contest, which will be enraging for everybody.
Oh, angering.
But I want to get a look. I want someone to have a look.
Yes.
Because it's hard for me to do chip publicly anymore. And worst breath. You can make your breath bad, or you can just naturally have that fucking hideous,
horrendous,
dry plaque breath, and E-Rock will judge it. I don't know what you win. Hopefully a self-inflicted gunshot wound is your prize.
By the way, are you guys staying at our hotel?
Yes.
One of your guys emailed me, and then they followed up with like, well, we have like 18 crew. Can you give them like a same deal? I'm like, they're like, they're like, we have a budget of like $100. I go, it's rated the best hotel in North America. You want 18 rooms during Comic-Con for $100 a night? It's like, are you out of your goddamn mind?
Is it really rated? That's great, man.
Oh my God.
Travel and Leisure rated it the best hotel in North America. So it's a sweet place. You'll like it.
Jesus.
I've been there. I went there one time. I flew there to Chicago to stay in that hotel.
I think we talked.
I did.
That sounds good.
I've said it when you weren't here. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful and clean. And
so I'm like, I'll look up the guys. Like, we'll get you. We'll do something great for them. And then they're like, well, how about the 18 crew? I go, guys, you're barking up
the wrong fucking tree.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, listen, hey, you don't get anything you don't ask for. I'm a firm believer of that in life. But
you're doing us a favor, and we really appreciate it. We don't want to take advantage, certainly.
Not at all.
Hey, this is just coming in. Suspect's mother tells ABC News, you have the right person. I need to call the police. And she's flying to Colorado from wherever she lives.
Oh, boy. Tennessee? But I think we may have found the guy earlier. We may be the first to have actually found him on that.
You think it might be that guy that we saw?
I don't know, man. If I had to generalize what a killer of this nature, if it is an attack on the opposite race.
Do we have audio of her saying that? Let's look for that.
I wonder if
he
left her a message.
Yeah, let's look for that, because that's coming in on Twitter a lot, so it definitely happened. I'm wondering if there's audio of her saying that.
Does that guy say anything on his website? Anything?
It didn't look like
there's some crazy stuff on there, though. Some out of the ordinary stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't want to give out his page.
Yeah, no, I mean,
but
yeah, it turns out not to be the guy.
Well, basically, we're just searching for James Holmes.
I know. Yeah. All right, more with Donald Trump Jr., the Breaking Bad guy, in a few minutes.